Okay. Yeah. So these are the questions. There were 30 questions around. So first question is 5 kingdom division. Chlorella, Chlamydomonas. Obviously in Protesta. Okay. That was right answer. So which group holds the maximum nutritional diversity? Okay, that is Monera. So bacteria which possess variety of metabolisms, types of metabolism, variety of nutritions, starts from autotrophic to the heterotrophic. Again, that is divided into chemoautotrophs, hetero kind of things. So that is Monera. Okay, clear membrane is absent in. So what is this? So Volvox, it is an algae. Agaricus penicillium. So fungi. So Nostoc is the only Moneron. So that is the prokaryote. So it is the clear membrane. Nuclear membrane is absent in Nostoc. Yes, option is B. Good. Kingdom consists of heterotrophs. Okay, only heterotrophs. So here Monera, Protesta. No, actually fungi. Okay, some Protestants are also have the autotrophs also. Okay, some are autotrophs also from kingdom Protesta. Okay, some of the Protestants can use, say for example Euglena. Take for example Euglena, and it is having green color pigment, and it is actually an autotroph in the presence of green pigment, heterotroph in absence of green pigment. So, okay, that is the difference of the Euglena. Okay, which is a Protestant. Which comes under Protester. The name the classification based on the genetic and evolutionary relationships. Okay, that is phenotypics, biosystematics, numerical taxonomy, and cladistics. This is what cladistics is actually. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, biosystematics is a system of classification, and numerical taxonomy includes many characters. Okay, it includes number of characters. So this is the cladistics. What is the purpose of taxonomy? Okay. So what is purpose of taxonomy? Explain the origin of life, identification of unknown species, to search the history of evolution, identify the medicinal plants. So what is the purpose of taxonomy? It is to identify new species. Okay. So B is the answer, identification of the new species. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the purpose of botanical garden. What is the purpose of botanical garden? Botanical, it is a type of botanical aid. That means to preserve the plants. Okay. So what is the purpose of botanical garden? Preserve tropical plants. Okay. Ex situ conservation of germ plasm, to preserve wildlife, giving a place for recreation. Okay, actually tropical plants, that is not possible. Tropical plants cannot be planted anywhere. Okay, if they are particular about their habitat. Okay, ex situ conservation of germ plasm, that is the answer. Okay, that means ex situ means out of the area. Okay, in situ means in the same area where we can find them. Okay, ex situ is the place. So if you are culturing plants in your test tubes, in case of in the case of tissue culture, what is it, ex situ or in situ? In situ. Okay, sorry, ex situ, because external to the natural habitat, you're preserving germ plasm preservation. So that is what the purpose of botanical garden. So next thing is which form of fungi stores food material? So what is the form of food storage in fungi? What? It's Lipid, starch, oil, and glycogen, protein. What is it? It is oil and glycogen. Okay. Another name of cyanobacteria. It is okay. Paramecium. Paramecium is a bacterium, protozoan, virus, or annelid.
Protozoa.
Because it is a unicellular organism. Unicellular eukaryotes are comes under protozoa.
Yes.
That means Protista. Among Protista, again, that is subgroup is protozoan. Okay, in which heterotrophic protistants are present, like amoeba, paramecium. Okay, that kind of things. Those are the examples. So, name of the agaricus fruiting body. So, what is the agaricus fruiting body? It is basidiocarp. Okay. So this is basidiocarp. Phycology is the study of fungi, lichen, mosses, algae. What is it? Study of actually algae. It is algae. Phycology is the study of algae. Study of fungi is called as what? Mycology. What it is? Mycology and phycology. Heterocyst in nostoc is participates in what?
Nitrogen fixation.
Exactly, because nostoc is the species in which it helps in the nitrogen fixation. The heterocyst is a specialized cell present in the nostoc. Sorry, Whitaker definition of classification does not include Whitaker. Algae. Yes, algae. Algae is not present in the Whitaker's classification. So classification is based on the thallus organization, cell structure, gross morphology, phylogenetic relationship.
Gross morphology.
Thallus organization. Classification is not it is not based on the okay. Classification is not based on the it is based on the cell structure, right? Morphological features are also considered, phylogenetic relationships are also considered. So it is the thallus organization. It's not dependent on the thallus organization, because thallus organization is not present everywhere, right? Only a few species of plant kind of organisms like algae and fungi. These are the two groups which possess this thallus organization. Okay, what do you mean by thallus? Thallus is the body organization in which that cannot be differentiated into separate organs. Okay, that is called thallus. If in a plant you cannot differentiate stem, root, and shoot, okay, leaf, then that is known as thallus. Okay, which is not a bacterial disease. Tell me this. Mumps, because it is a viral disease. Chlorella plague, citrus canker, all are bacterial diseases. So which of the following features Mycoplasma does not have? Okay, Mycoplasma does not have. Is it pleomorphic, lack of cell wall? All are correct. And cannot live without oxygen. Which one is the right answer?
Like cell wall.
Does not have. Here you need to go through the question properly. Which of the following features Mycoplasma does not have? It is actually lack of cell wall. It is also pleomorphic. If cell wall is absent, it will change its shape, right? Pleomorphic means different, possessing different shapes. Okay, variety of shapes. So morphic is something related to morphology. Pleo is many. Okay, plural. So pleomorphic means possessing different shapes. So this is not the answer, because lack of cell wall, it may possess different shapes. Lack of cell wall. Okay, this is also character possessed by Mycoplasma. So all are correct. But here cannot live without oxygen. They can live without oxygen. This is the answer. Okay, because Mycoplasma can live without oxygen. So this is not related to the Mycoplasma. So D is the answer. which is incorrect for Protista. Protista, missing membrane bound organelles, links with several organisms. Okay, this kingdom boundary is not clear, have some cilia and flagella. Which one is incorrect for Protista? Is it a eukaryote or prokaryote? Protista. Eukaryote. So membrane bound organelles are present or absent? Nuclear is present or absent? Present. Nucleus is present because it is a eukaryote, as well as all eukaryotes have membrane bound organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, okay, etc. So this is not related to Protista, so it is incorrect. A is the option, correct option. So diatoms do not have indestructible cell walls. Cell walls are like soap box, two thick overlapping cells, release cell wall deposits. So what is the answer? Two thick overlapping cells. Yes, that is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Ajolla boosts the soil fertility of barley, maize, rice. Yes, rice. Rice is the correct answer. Fungal cell wall have hemicellulose, cellulose, chitin, pectin. Option is C. Yes. Genetic recombination can happen in prokaryotes during transformation, transduction, conjugation, all of these. What is the option?
All of these.
Yes, all these three are the forms of genetic recombination in the bacteria. Spirochetes are class of virus, insect, fungi, bacteria. What is it? Bacteria. Okay, these are not insects, these are not virus. Okay, go with elimination method. If you are not clear, you go with elimination method. Spirochete cannot be fungi. Okay, these are spiral in structure, hence are called spirochetes. So bacteria divided into different classes like Vibrio, okay, Bacillus, Cocci, okay, based on the shapes. Okay, spirochete is the spiral shape possessing bacteria. Diatoms do not decay quickly because why they do not quickly decay? Are they chitinous, or it has the siliceous walls, or diatoms contain saline soil, or their body is impervious to water? It has siliceous walls. Okay, silica in them. They have silica in them. Okay. What are the plant decomposers? So among these options, Monera and fungi, plant and fungi, Monera and Animalia, Animalia and Protista. Option A. Okay, plant is not decomposer. Okay, next here Animalia is most of them are not decomposers in Animalia. So only option is Monera and fungi. Among mushrooms, mud and rust, two of them are. Bear ascocarp, saprops, carry basidiocarp, and these are pathogens. Basically, these two are pathogens. Okay, these two are from different groups, but these two are pathogens. They cause diseases, mud and rust disease. Okay, in plants, what causes red tye? Serratium, Triseratium, Gonialax, all of these. Which one causes red tye? Gonialax. Yes, it is present in red color, so it makes the seawater appears in red color. So which one is sexual spore? Ascospore, zoospore, conidia, sporangiospore. Ascospore. Yes. Which is not a part of sexual cycle of fungi. Plasmog. Yes, please. Mitosis. Exactly. Good. Which one does not belong to deuteromycetes? Coletrotrichum, Alternaria, Eustylago, Trichoderma. Deuteromycete. Eustylago. Yes, exactly. So there ends the paper. Okay. Any doubts? Any more doubts? Yes. Any doubts, or should I proceed the class? So in the previous class, we discussed until kingdom fungi. Okay, we discussed kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom fungi. So here comes the next kingdom, that is Plantae. What do you know about Plantae? Are they autotrophic or heterotrophic? They are autotrophic. Okay, they are multicellular. Okay, higher eukaryotes. They possess chlorophyll pigment in them. Okay, maybe that may be different. The type of chlorophyll present that possessed by the different species are different. So earliest system of classification generally used kind of gross superficial morphological characters, kind of what is the size of plant. Take for example Aristotle classification. Okay, so what happened in the artificial classification? They couldn't able to do justice to the plants which to the some species, okay, which are not properly placed in the classification. Okay, so and one more drawback is that they give equal priority, equal weightage to the vegetative characters as well as the reproductive characters. Okay, so generally what they considered, earliest system of classification by Aristotle, Carolus, Linnaeus, all they classified based on the habitat, color, the number and the shape of leaves, different morphological characters. So basically vegetative characters are so okay. They also one more wrong thing what they did is they also separated some closely related species into the separate groups, separate groups in the classification. So what happened? They are based on very few. They follow very few characters. They consider very few characters, and they also give equal weightage to the vegetative and sexual characters. What will happen if vegetative character is considered? What will happen? Actually, vegetative characters are generally often changes because of the environment. Okay, we know root modification, shoot modifications. Yes, leaf modification. They among the same species, even among the similar species, you can find different kinds of modification based on the environment in which they present. So we cannot simply consider these vegetative characters for classification. Okay, we generally so these are the things that have happened. So what happened? Natural systems comes in existence. Okay, natural system of classification. What is natural system of classification? So in the natural system of classification, embryological characters, okay, cytological characters, cell biology. That means what are the cell structures that are possessed, and what are the cell wall structures, many things. Okay, uh, actually, uh, that kind of characters, all anatomical features. Okay, anatomical, embryological. Okay, again morphological. All these features. Okay, developmental, embryological and evolutionary. Okay, what are the common ancestors? After they considering evolutionary relationships, what happened? If two organisms placed in the same taxonomical group, then they must have the common ancestor. They must be evolved from the common ancestor. Only then we can place them in the same taxa. So that is what the evolutionary relationships. So so what else? So artificial classification is no more acceptable. So natural classifications are based on different natural affinities. So basically, external features, internal features, and ultrastructure. Okay, ultrastructure and anatomy, embryology, and phytochemistry. Phytochemistry means what are the chemical components that are being produced by the organism, plant organism. So such a classification is given by Bentham and Hooker, George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. So who classified flowering plants? So flowering plants. So basically, now phylogenetic classification is also considered. So it is based on evolutionary relationships between various organisms. Okay, and it is now acceptable, and which places organism shares common ancestor. Okay, common ancestor need to be placed in a one taxa. Okay, and one more thing, what is numerical taxonomy? So we learned phylogenetic classification. Then what is numerical taxonomy? So numerical taxonomy is which in using computers, generally number of characters will be considered. Okay, many number of characters, all observable characters will be considered, and for each character, okay, what is the type of flower? Okay, what is the inflorescence? Okay, and what is the phyllotaxy? Many things will be considered, along with morphological character, how many ovals are there in the flower. Okay, all these things will be considered. Many such characters will be considered, and each character would be given they'll take a species. Okay, one species, they'll start comparing. Okay, this is present, this is present, this is present, all together they sum to they'll sum all characters, all present characters, and again then the codes are assigned to all characters. So that kind of processed data is used to classify the organisms into appropriate groups. So that is what the numerical taxonomy. Here we are using numericals. Okay, what is cytotaxonomy? Cytotaxonomy deals with the chromosomes. Okay, cytological information like that may be chromosome number. What is the number of chromosomes, and what are the structures of chromosome, and what is the behavior of them during maybe during meiosis or mitosis. Okay, that means what is the ploidy. Okay, chemotaxonomy. So that is what the cytotaxonomy. They also consider cytotaxonomy to classify the system. Numerical taxonomy is also acceptable. Okay, evolutionary, that is phylogenetic classification is also now used to classify organisms into appropriate groups. All these systems are in exist to classify organisms into appropriate groups. So here is the another term called chemotaxonomy. So what is chemotaxonomy? Chemotaxonomy is the field in which chemical constituents of the plants. So what are the secondary metabolites or the chemicals that are produced by the plants? Okay. So this is also considered by taxonomists of nowadays. Okay. The plant kingdom. Generally, it changed over time. So generally, fungi and some of the monirans and protestants are being considered as plants, some of the members. Okay, fungi is included in the plant kingdom now, and then the other some of the monirans which possess cell walls. Okay, some of the protestants, all these are now excluded, now being excluded from plantae. So through earlier classifications, so they placed them in same kingdom. So cyanobacteria that are also referred to the blue-green algae is not algae anymore. So we generally call cyanobacteria as blue-green algae, but now it is considered as bacteria only. So monirans are divided into bacterians and archaebacterians. Among bacteria, cyanobacteria and eubacteria are present. Okay, cyanobacteria is considered as bacteria only because of the lack of proper nucleus. So next one is algae. So algae are chlorophyll bearing organisms. Okay, these are chlorophyll bearing. That means they have chlorophyll. They possess photosynthesis. So these are very simple. So the body is only thallus. Thallus means, as I already told you, there is no proper root, shoot, or leaf. Okay, so that kind of simple organization of the body is present in the form of thallus. They are chlorophyll bearing. So they have chlorophyll, green in color. Maybe not all algae are green in color. Okay, because of the other pigments that are present in the algae, that may be green, brown, okay, red. Maybe the composition is different. Okay, that may be green algae, brown algae, and red algae. Green algae is the chlorophyce, brown algae is the phaeophyce, red algae is the rhodophyce. So basically, what is the habitat? They may be present in the moist areas. Okay, some are marine, some are aquatic. Okay, maybe damp climate habitats also there. So they occur in variety of other moist stone, soil, and wood. Okay, generally they are freshwater and also marine organisms, either freshwater or marine organisms. They possess some other habitats like moist stones, soils, and that means moist and damp places they are existing. One moment, please. One moment. Okay. Habitats. variety of other habitats. Okay. And some of them are associated with other organisms that may be lichen. Example is lichen, in which algae and fungi are symbionts. So lichens and sloth bear. That means in which an algae is associated with the animal. Okay. Coming to the size. Okay, variable in size, ranging from very small volvox. Okay, volvox is a very small unicellular algae. Okay, it forms colonies. Okay, it is a colonial algae. Colonial forms like volvox, and filamentous forms like, so some are filamentous, so like this tube-like structures. Okay, so example is Eulothrix and Spirogyra. So Eulothrix and Spirogyra. I think you have a separate lesson for Spirogyra. So these are ribbon shaped. Okay, filamentous ribbon shaped. And few marine forms such as kelps form the massive plant bodies. So generally these kelps, which are very highly branched, okay, these kelps generally may rise up to 100 meters. So very small like volvox, okay, some are filamentous and some are very highly branched, and they form massive bodies. Okay, very huge body, which is very much highly branched. Okay, differentiated. So that kind of kelps will also be there in the algae. So coming to the reproduction. So what are the different modes of reproduction? Here are vegetative reproduction, generally by fragmentation. Okay, asexual reproduction, mostly by zoospores. So zoospores are motile spores. That means they possess flagella. Okay. So vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction is by forming zoospores. And what else? Sexual reproduction. So here some non-motile sorry, sexual reproduction, coming to the, yeah, sexual reproduction. So that may be isogamous and isogamous. So what is isogamous? Isogamous is fusion of gametes. So generally sexual reproduction is carried by fusion of male female gametes. So that may be isogamous. That means here iso means similar. So here the gametes are similar size. They could be motile or non-motile. Sorry. So that may be motile or non-motile. Okay. So basically, what is anisogamous? And anisogamous is fusion of dissimilar, okay, dissimilar gametes that are not similar in their size. One is large, maybe one is short, one is small. So fusion of gametes of dissimilar size, okay, as in species of Eudoria, okay, that is called anisogamous. So if in an anisogamy, if the female gamete is large and non-motile, and male gamete is small and motile, then this male gamete go to the female gamete and fuse there in the female gametophyte. So what is that type of fusion is called? Oogamous. So anisogamy could be a oogamous. Oogamous is the set type of reproduction in which female gamete is very large and male gamete is very small. Most of the time, these male gamete generally swims towards the female gamete. So examples, what are the examples? So here, isogamous examples are Spirogyra, okay, Hulothrix, okay. What is the difference? So here, Hulothrix is the algae in which these flagella. So here, example is Ulothrix, and here this is not flagellated. So in Ulothrix, these gametes are flagellated. Okay, so that means they are motile. Example is Ulothrix. So here under non-motile, no flagella is present. Example is Spirogyra. So Ulothrix and Spirogyra are examples of isogamous type of sexual reproduction. So among the anisogamous type of sexual reproduction, example is okay, volvox and fucus. So these two are the examples in which the fusion of gametes will be happen, which is oogamous type. So example of the other anisogamous type of sexual reproduction is Eudoria. So these are all examples are important. Volvox and fucus comes under oogamous type of sexual reproduction. Okay, Eudoria comes under anisogamous, and Ulothrix and Spirogyra. Ulothrix is having motile flagellated gamete, okay, that is isogamous, and Spirogyra, which is having non-motile, that means non-flagellated gametes are present. The sex type of reproduction is isogamous. So coming to the what are the benefits of algae to the human? So generally, there is a lot of economic importance, kind of as they fix carbon dioxide. Okay, these are the producers of the ocean environment. So they fix the carbon dioxide, atmospheric carbon dioxide, in the form of carbohydrates. That is what the photosynthesis is. Okay. So this photosynthesis possessed by the algae is actually half of the total of carbon dioxide fixation on Earth. So such a huge portion, okay, responsibility is taken by this algae. Half of the total carbon fixation on Earth is carried out by algae through photosynthesis. That means they fix carbon dioxide in the form of carbohydrate. Okay. So one more thing, by releasing oxygen, they increase the dissolved oxygen in the aquatic habitats. Okay. So dissolved oxygen will be increased. So they fix carbon dioxide, they increase the dissolved oxygen. So they are primary producers. of the aquatic habitats. So basically, the other organisms present in the aquatic habitats generally depends on these primary producers for their energy needs. So basically, some algae are also edible. So they can be taken as food. Examples are Porifera, Laminaria, and Sargassum. Okay, these three are the examples: Porifera, Laminaria, and Sargassum. These three are the examples. Likewise, 70 species of marine algae are used as food. So some are able to produce hydrocolloids. What are hydrocolloids? They fix the water. Okay, they have the substances, chemical substances that can hold the water. Those are called as hydrocolloids. So some of the algae are able to produce hydrocolloid. Examples are algin. Okay, brown algae produces algin, and some are what is other examples? That is carrageen. Carrageen is produced by red algae. They can hold water, so they have the economical importance. So, and agar. Agar is the substance which produce jelly kind of thing on the on boiling with water. Okay, that would be in powder form, and once you boil agar with water, that semi-solid jelly-like form will be created. So one of the commercial products obtained from Gillardium and Gracilaria. So these are the two species, Gillardium and Gracilaria, which produce agar. So what is the economical importance of agar? Agar is used in the used to grow the microbes in laboratories. Okay, and it is also used in ice creams and the jellies. So agar, hydrocolloid production, agar production. So this agar is used to grow the microbes as well as ice creams and jellies. Okay, so that is the economical importance of the algae. So what are the species that produce agar? That is Gracilarium and Gillardium. So chlorella. Chlorella is a unicellular algae rich in proteins used as food supplement even by the space travelers. So this is the basically unicellular protein. Okay, so protein rich food, chlorella. One of the very protein rich food. Even the tablets of chlorella is also available in market. Okay, which are rich in proteins, nutritious substrate, nutrition substrate. So algae are divided into three main classes: chlorophyce, phaeophyce, and rhodophyce. Okay, as I already told you, based on the pigments present in them, they possess different color: green, brown, and red. So basically, what are chlorophyce? So they are commonly called as green algae. Okay. What is the stellar structure? That may be unicellular, colonial, or filamentous. So basically, the body organization may be unicellular, colonial, or filamentous. Coming to the pigments. So we discussed unicellular is Volvox, colonial. Volvox will also can form colonial forms, and filamentous, Iridogyra. So these are the examples. Coming to the pigments present in them. So pigments present in the algae are basically they are usually grass green due to dominance of pigment chlorophyll A and B. So these are the important things to remember. Okay, chlorophyll A and B are present in chlorophyce. So basically, these chlorophyll pigments are present localized or present in the chloroplast. The shape of the chloroplast could be maybe discoid, okay, cup shaped, plate shaped, okay, network shape, that is reticulate, okay, and spiral or ribbon shaped. So example is Spirogyra. So they possess the chloroplast may be present in different shapes, variety of shapes. Okay. So what are the storage bodies? Most of the members have pyrenoids. So coming to the green algae, this is most important. The storage body is pyrenoid. Okay, pyrenoid. So pyrenoids are basically these are protein containing structures. Okay, pyrenoids are protein rich substances. They store proteins in their chloroplast. Okay, so these proteins are present stored in the chloroplast itself in the form of storage body known as pyrenoids, and pyrenoids contain protein besides the starch. Okay, some algae may store food in the form of oil droplets. So proteins in the form of pyrenoids. Okay, pyrenoids as well as the oil droplets. So these pyrenoids present in the chloroplast itself. Okay. Some algae may store food in the form of oil droplets. Okay. What is the composition of cell wall? So basically, the cell wall is cellulosic. Okay. Cell wall is made up of cellulose only, but the rigid cell wall have outer layer of pectose. So outer layer is pectose, inner layer is cellulose. So basically, and what is the mode of vegetative reproduction? Coming to the reproduction. So we have gone through the storage material, that is protein in the case of pyrenoids, and oil droplets in some fungi, some algae, and some algae of chlorophyce. Okay, members of chlorophyce. Cell wall is cellulosic and pectin outer layer. So outer is pectin, inner is cellulosic. Organ also, what will happen if pectin is there? So pectin absorbs the water. So Spirogyra, species like Spirogyra, which contains this pectin cell wall. So what will happen? They form a slimy structure on their surfaces. Okay, hence they call as pond silk. Okay, what else? These are economic importance. We discussed the economic importance, that they fix carbon dioxide. Okay, they increase the dissolved oxygen. Okay, these are primary producers to the aquatic habitat. Okay, they produce hydrocolloids like algin and carrageen, and some produce agar. Examples are algin is by brown algae and carrageen is by red algae. Agar is produced by Gracilaria and Ziladium. These are the two examples. Sorry. So coming to the reproduction, as we discussed, it could be vegetative reproduction. Okay. asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Vegetative reproduction usually takes by fragmentation or by formation of different types of spores. Maybe those are vegetative spores. So by mitotic division, the spores are produced and those are called as vegetative spores. They grow up into the new plant, new algae. Asexual reproduction. Sorry. Asexual reproduction is by flagellated zoospores. Okay. Produced in zoosporangia. Zoosporangia is a fruiting body in which zoospores are produced. And what is the mode of sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction shows considerable variation in type and formation of sex cells, and that may be isogamous. So isogamous, okay, anisogamous, and oogamous. So isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous, three forms of the sexual reproduction can be observed in the green algae. So examples of green algae are Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, and Chara. So these are the examples of the green algae. So what is next? So we done with chlorophyceae. Next comes the Phaeophyceae. What is the difference? Phaeophyceae. So these are in brown color. So pheo means brown. So here in the chlorophyceae, the pigments are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. So here in the Phaeophyceae, the type of pigments are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. Okay. Along with the chlorophyll A and C, they also have carotenoids and xanthophylls. Xanthophylls. So these are the colored pigments. So they vary in color from olive green to various shades of brown. So they possess different colors, variety of colors. Okay. Based on the amount of xanthophyll present in them. Okay, xanthophyll present in them, they vary in color. So, so what is the main xanthophyll pigment that is present in the brown algae? That is fucocyanin. Fucocyanin. So fucocyanin is the xanthophyll type of xanthophyll. Sorry, fucoxanthin it is. Fucoxanthin. So fucoxanthin is the type of xanthophyll present in the Phaeophyceae, class Phaeophyceae. So what is the food? Food stored in the complex carbohydrates, which may be in the form of laminarian and mannitol. So here food will be stored in type of carbohydrates. So here in the chlorophyceae, food is stored in pyrenoids in the form of pyrenoids and oil drops. Okay. Here in the xanthophyceae, the food is stored in the form of carbohydrate, complex carbohydrate, that is laminarian and mannitol. So mannitol and laminarian. So that is about the type of food storage. So coming to the cell wall, what are the different components of cell walls? So basically cellulosic wall. So vegetative cells possess cellulosic cell walls. Okay. Usually outside they have gelatinous coating called algin. Okay, this is gelatinous coating. That means it is a hydrocolloid. Okay, algin will be present, which absorbs the water, so that gelatinous form appearance will come. Okay, and the protoplast, in addition to the nucleus plastids, the protoplast is having vacuole and nucleus, and plant body generally attached to the substratum. Here in the phaeophyce, the plant body is usually attached to the substratum by some stalk-like structure. Okay, called hold fast. And so it is attached to the substratum by hold fast, and the stack filamentous structure is called a stack. Okay, and leaf-like photosynthetic organ. So leaf-like organ, as there are filamentous forms, there is leaf-like structure called photosynthetic organ, that is called frond. So they have hold fast, which holds the algae, which stick the algae on the substrate. Okay, hold fast, and stack. Okay, filamentous structure. The stipe. Okay, and the leaf-like frond. So vegetative, this is the structure of the brown algae. Okay, summer branch like kelps. Okay, so vegetative reproduction. So what are the modes of reproduction of the brown algae? Mode of reproduction could be vegetative reproduction. Okay, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. What is vegetative reproduction? Vegetative reproduction could be generally carried by fragmentation, like the other forms of the bacteria, other forms of the algae. So even in the chlorophyce, the vegetative reproduction is in the form of fragmentation. Asexual reproduction. So they produce, okay, biflagellate zoospores. So zoospores, even in the chlorophyce or asexual reproduction, is carried by zoospores only. Okay. Here the zoospores are biflagellated. That means they are motile. So that are pear-shaped and have two unequal laterally attached flagella. So these are pear-shaped. They have two flagella, laterally arranged flagella. One is large and one is small. So that is the mode of asexual reproduction. What are the means of sexual reproduction? That could be isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. So sexual reproduction could be isogamous, anisogamous, and eugamous. Oogamous. The union of gametes may take place in water or within oogonium. So that is oogamous species. So basically gametes are pyriform, that is pear-shaped. So all Phaeophyce members are having pyriform gametes, and bear two laterally attached flagella. So the flagella are laterally attached. The common forms are Ectocarpus, Dictyota, Laminaria, Sargassum, and Fucus. So these are the examples of the brown algae: Ectocarpus, Dictyota, Laminaria, and Sargassum, and Fucus. So coming to the other group, that is Rhodophyceae. So Rhodophyceae are commonly known as red algae. Okay, because of the red color, predominance of red pigment present in them. So that is phycoerythrin. So because of the presence of phycoerythrin, they appear in red color. Okay, these are mostly marine, representing sea water. And found in warm areas. Okay, they occur both in well lighted regions which are close to the surface. Okay, well lighted, and also in greater depths. Okay, where the light penetration is very low. So thalli of most of the algae are multicellular. Okay, thalli of most of red algae are multicellular thalli. Okay, complex body organization they have. These are multicellular, complex. Okay. And what is the type of food storage? Food is stored in the form of floridine. Floridine. So food is stored in the form of floridine starch. So in red algae, the storage type of food storage is floridine. Okay, in brown algae, the food is stored in the form of complex carbohydrates like laminarin and mannitol. In the case of Chlorophyceae or green algae, the food is stored in the form of pyrenoids and what else? And oil drops. So this is the thing. So oil drops and pyrenoids comes in green algae, laminarin and mannitol comes in brown algae, and here in the red algae, food is stored in the form of floridine starch, and that is very similar to amylopectin and glycogen in structure. So the carbohydrate that is called floridine starch is similar to amylopectin and glycogen. So red algae usually reproduce vegetatively by fragmentation. So what are the mode of reproduction in red algae? Type of reproduction in red algae is vegetatively by fragmentation. Okay. Asexual reproduction by non-motile spores and sexual reproduction by non-motile gametes. So here in the Rhodophyceae, sexual and asexual spores are non-motile, and which is oogamous and accompanied by complex post-fertilization development. So after fertilization, the embryo will be developed. That kind of post-fertilization developments are complex. So what are the examples? Polysiphonia, Porifera, Gracilaria, and Ziladium. So here Gracilaria and Ziladium, we studied them for agar production. Okay. So this Laminaria, Sargassum are food. So here ends this algae. Okay. So in the next class, I'll be continuing with the remaining concept in the plant kingdom. Okay. But today I'm going to stop the class, and I'll compensate this class by extending the next class. Okay. Any doubts? Hello? Any doubts or anything, any points to discuss? Yes? So we'll discuss the questions related to this topic and along with the remaining plant kingdom in the next class. That may be going to be in the next Thursday, right? So what else? Are there anything to discuss? Yes. Otherwise, I may end the class by now. Okay. So we'll meet in the next class. Prepare well the concepts which are already covered, and you're going to have the exam on the weekend. Okay. That is it.